We are in a tunnel, and I'm not going to say anything more than we're in a tunnel here, and this is what it looked like. It's a tunnel. And
It's a train tunnel.
Train tunnel. Obviously, there's train tracks. We're all down there, and obviously there's too many of us.
Was that abandoned, or is that
No.
in service just in the off hours?
We were there in the off hours, yeah. And I mean, the fact that we did get caught and they did tell us everything, like I feel like we have more freedom to talk about it, because if we didn't get caught and we were kind of like being more secretive about it, I wouldn't be as open to showing the footage. But since we did get caught, I'm more like, I feel more comfortable about it, don't you, Colin? Since we got caught, you know?
Yeah, I don't really care.
Yeah. So we're in a train tunnel here, and there's a bunch of us, and we're down there for probably like 20.
Too long. Too many people.
Too many people.
Being loud.
We're kind of breaking every rule that you kind of set for yourselves when you're doing
We
this
basically broke every rule that we've stuck to throughout all these years of exploring.
Yep. Keep a small group, be quiet, be careful, and be quick.
Yep.
Get in, get out. Don't take your time. As soon as you get comfortable, you're probably going to get caught. And that's what happened. We were down there for way too long. We got way too comfortable. We were dicking around. You know, I have like 30 videos. That's how you could tell we were there for too long. You should only be in a spot long enough to get a couple pictures, a couple videos, and then you should leave while you have a chance.
I mean,
to.
depending on the spot.
Yeah,
like every
but when you're in
spot's different.
active-
But when you're in
active-
an active spot, just get out of there.
Yeah, and so what happened was we're down here for a while. Maddie, a friend that we're with, is taking a picture of me right by the stairwell, and I think I have maybe it's right there. So that exit sign right there. For people listening, I'm talking about exit sign. There's a doorway. I'm
The
right by it.
staircase that we came down.
Yep.
Maddie's taking a picture.
I'm in
Ethan.
front of that. And so Maddie's taking a picture of me. She gets done taking the picture. I hear like a walkie-talkie going off. And then I like look at everybody and we all start running. And then I hear, "Hey, stop." And I'm like, "Guys, maybe we should talk to him." But it was too late. We had pulled the trigger. We had made that split second decision that you hate to make, but when you commit to it, there's no turning back. So we had ran, and we ran for a long ways. We ran way down the tunnel, and we stopped after a while, turned around, and they weren't coming after us. And so you're in that moment, it's almost impossible to explain to somebody what you're feeling. Being
The
in that.
adrenaline's just really going. You're not trying to get caught. You're trying to.
It's not just adrenaline, though. It's the fact that you ran from the police. And if you know that if you get caught, you could be charged with, I don't even know,
Trespassing.
well, not just trespassing, impeding arrest and running from police officers is another charge. And I don't like that moment is when you really regret doing it. 'Cause you're like, this sucks. 'Cause you can't do anything. No one's going to help you. You're breaking the law. You've just ran from the law. Now you are in the fight or flight. I mean, we're in the flight mode. We're not going to fight the police.
Yeah.
We're in the flight mode. We're in the flight mode. You got to run. And what are we going to do? Every decision you make could impact if you're going to spend the rest of your weekend in jail. Because if the cops would have been mad, we would have been in jail the whole weekend because we're committing a serious felony here. And so we ran. And then I'm talking, you got to make these split second decisions. Chris and Ryan are like, let's go up. So we found another exit. We all go up it. And I'm figuring, we're going to go out. Cops are going to be there. Because, of course,
Right.
they're going to go to the next stop.
Yeah.
And so no one was there, though. We go out in the alley, and everyone's shuffling out. We had a big group of people.
Jamin rolled his ankle in the tunnel.
Limping at this point, right, Jamin? You were limping
Dude,
coming out of the
that was
tunnel?
so much pain.
What did you trip on? One of the railroad ties?
I jumped over the railroad and just landed wrong and completely twisted my ankle that my ankle popped. And my whole foot right now is bruised from my ankle all throughout my whole toes.
I
just
saw
black.
that. Your toes, yeah.
Yeah.
It looks horrible. And so and the worst part is we're just getting started running and that happens to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So then we're all walking through the alley and I can see way down the alley, there's a lady on the phone calling the police. Of course, we're in a very wealthy area.
And this is at 2:45 in the morning or something.
Middle of the night. And we're in a very wealthy area. Gonna call the police as expected, as you would in a wealthy area. You don't want a bunch of guys walking around with backpacks and stuff.
She literally sees 10 people come out of that subway.
Yeah. And so we don't see any cops at this point. No cops are around. So we're literally, we're walking up the street. We're all tired from running that far. We ran a long ways. And we're walking up the street and we're making decisions. What are we going to do? Everyone's worried. Everyone's paranoid. Everyone's double checking over their back. You know, you're looking around 100 times. You don't know what to do. And we decide, you know, we need to kind of split up. So I don't even know if like part of the group, we kept walking, went into an alleyway, hid behind a garbage can.
Yep. So we had like 4 people. We already split up. So we had a group of 9, and pretty much we split in half from that 9 to 5 to 4.
Yep.
And then there was actually, no, we was even more. It was 3.
I don't know.
4,
I went with Lucy to go check out the
3,
car.
Well, that was
and
after we
2,
hid behind the garbage can.
because Jake and
The other girl.
yep, they
Yep.
took off separate from our group.
Yep.
And then we were together, and we went like,
Everyone's gonna be like, I don't know who's going where.
yeah, we went straight, and you guys went sideways, and
Well, no, because we went. So we're hiding behind a garbage can, and we're like, we need to get back to the cars because we're dumb enough to park our cars right by where the entrance was. And so we're like, we need to get back to the cars and see if the cops are there. If they're not, we could just leave. So we sent Colin and this other girl to go over there and look. They're gone for a while. We're all paranoid, hiding behind this garbage can in someone's backyard. We don't know what to do. Everyone's worried. You know, everyone's in that mode where you're really worried about yourself, but you're also worried about everyone else. You don't want to get caught, but you want to do the best for the whole group. Colin and them are gone for a while. He calls me. He's hiding in a bush. He had to run because the cops showed up. I don't know what happened, Colin. They pulled up on you.
I
guys
don't know.
ran.
We were walking down the sidewalk. I saw a cop coming. I'm like, screw that. I'm not dealing with them. Dude, I took off.
And
I
split
took
up,
like 3
split up
turns.
from Lucy.
I literally jumped, like dived in a bush and laid there. Didn't move for like 20 minutes. Then when I felt coast was clear, after multiple cops with spotlights passed me, I called Ethan and I'm like, this is horrible.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was this big of a deal. I
It
figured
was bad.
I figured they would be like looking around for a while, and then they're gonna be like, all right, we're going home. But I've totally forgot we're not in St. Louis. We're in like one of the rich suburbs.
That
They don't
was-
have anything better to do.
that was a very nice neighborhood that
Yeah.
we were in, and it was I better guarantee it, like the residents of that neighborhood didn't even know that there was a tunnel under.
No.
It was overgrown. The police didn't even know that there was there. It was-
Yep. So what happens is after Colin calls me and says the cops are everywhere, they're spotlighting, they're coming around the block everywhere. We're far away, but we're still in the area where they're going to be looking. So we're literally like, we don't know what to do. We need to move. So we're walking down the alley. We're like, we need to get to this park because I went on Google Maps. I found a park, bunch of trees. There's a school right there. So we're all walking. Maddie and Ryan take a right. Me, Chris, Jamin, Jake. Yeah, it was us
Yep.
4. We were walking
Colin.
down this alley. No, Colin was still not with us at this point.
I was hiding.
He was
still.
hiding still.
Oh, really?
So it was us 4. We're walking down the alley. Remember? We're hiding. We're just about to hide. And then
Chris.
turn around and there's a cop pulls right there, shines a spotlight right on us. Then we go 2 and 2. I go with Chris. You go with Jake. And I'm like, I'm worried about you because you got your foot. You can't run. I'm running.
First time on a road trip.
Yeah, first time on a road trip. I'm running with Chris. We hide in this bush. And I don't know where you go.
So this is where we went. We went straight ahead and tried running to that park. Well, guess what? There's a cop in that park. So we turned
Really?
around and hid behind a garbage can in the elementary school.
Yeah, in like a trash corral area.
Yep.
And so I'm hiding. I follow Chris. We hide in this bush, which is like surrounded by road. Horrible spot. Lit up all the way around us. Only dark in the bush. We're laying there. I'm in the lower planter. Chris is in the higher planter. And I look to my left, and there's a cop literally like 10 feet behind Chris, like creeping up with his lights off. And I'm like, Chris, do not move. And he's like panicking kind of a little bit. He's like, what? I'm like, there's a cop right behind you. Do not look. And he like rolls over and gets down onto my level. And like the bushes move a little bit. I'm like, we're done here. There's no way that we're going to get out of this. And then literally as we're doing that, the cop comes around into the parking lot where I am. And then I hop up on the planter and lay down. And he's literally 5 feet away from me. I can look over and look into his car. That's how close he is. I'm like, please, God, please, just let him leave. Let him leave. You know, this is the moment where your whole, like, you don't know what to do. You don't know what the next decision is you're going to make. Are you going to run if he finds you? And then you're going to get tased? like, what are you going to do? So he drives by. I'm like, holy cow. He goes back on the street. And for the next hour and a half, cops are driving back. I don't know if you guys couldn't see anything probably back there.
You were sleeping, weren't you, Jamin?
I was sleeping. My ankles hurt so bad. I
Really?
just took a nap.
Yeah, and so cops are driving by, and we don't know what to do. And we finally meet up with Colin, and we come back by you guys. And then the girl that we were with, that we knew down there, her sister had pulled up on the police and pretty much said, yeah, I know whose car that is, whatever. They get on the phone with her. They say, You need to come back. We're not leaving your guys' cars. We're going to tow them if you don't come back.
They basically went, picked her up, brought her back, talked to her, figured out that we were just taking pictures, checked out her Instagram, all that. And she was basically trying to get me and
All of us to come back.
all of us to come back.
But
and
we're like,
we thought she was lying to us, just like trying to get the cops to get us back. And so
you don't want to be cynical about people.
No.
But at the same time, you also know that cops are going to do whatever they can to get you back. And if they have her, they're going to be listening in on the phone call.
Absolutely.
But what ended up happening was we decided to go back. We decided to go talk to the police. We pull up, and the coolest cop ever gets out. And, like, just what a nice guy. I mean, honestly, like, what a nice guy. He gets out, and he's like, "Are you calling?" And he's like, "Yeah." And then he's like, "Well, what are you guys doing? Why are you running? Like, we just want to talk to you. Like, we're not even mad. Like, we know you take pictures and everything." He's like, "As long as you guys aren't doing graffiti or anything, you're good to go." And I have a little video here of us interacting with him. I don't think we're going to be able to get audio from it. Probably not. But it's pretty much just us talking to the cop here. He's taking down our information, and he's talking to us about our YouTube videos. And he had seen that he was watching the YouTube videos, and he had he knew like everything about us, which was the funny thing. And then all these other cops are pulling up too, and they were just like the coolest guys.
Yeah.
Like they didn't care, they weren't mad. They were just like, "Why did you guys run?" Like, "We just wanted to talk to you." And I'm like, "We were paranoid, we didn't know what to do, we shouldn't have ran." And at the end of the night, he actually called me after we were done with them at like 5:30.
Because we were missing some of our friends, so they're still hiding.
And he's like, "Hey, I just wanted to make sure you guys got everybody." The cop called me in the middle of the night, and I couldn't believe that. He called me, and he's like, "I'm getting off my shift. I just want to make sure you guys got out of there all right." I'm like, "Wow, you're a good guy. Like, you actually care."
And this is the best part about the story. That cop was on a 24-hour shift. That was his 24th hour he has been working. And he was still like the most well-spoken, soft-spoken, like genuine guy that
Yep.
actually cared more about us than like trying to punish us.
Yep.